Scott Jennings is the only reason why CNN has not gone under yet. I want to play for you one of the cringiest videos I think I've ever seen Democrats put out. And then after that, I'm going to show for you Scott Jennings' reaction to it because it is golden. We're going to have to power through this together, guys. It's brutal. It's awkward. If you need a moment to pause the video, just prepare yourself. Here it is. Here we go.
Choose your character.
Yeah, that is going to get the kids interested in your political party. Democrats, good job. As a member of Gen Z, let me unequivocally declare that this appeals to no one. Absolutely no one. It doesn't matter. But I can speak to my generation, which I'm assuming this video was meant for my generation, and say no one in my generation cares. In fact, they see this stuff, they want nothing to do with it. So on CNN, they were talking about this video, and Scott Jennings had a fantastic comeback. I think in his list of comebacks, I'd probably put this in the top 10, which again is saying a lot because Scott Jennings says a ton of great things pretty much every time he's on camera. Take a look.
Do something creative, you're going to get criticism, right? But I actually applaud them for trying to do something different. And here's the reality. 7 million followers, whether you think it's cringe or you like it, we're on CNN on a Thursday night, and we're talking about it on national TV.
But I guess my question is, to what end? I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I mean, maybe you will get 7 million eyeballs, but what is the point?
I am not accustomed to helping your party do anything.
Yep.
But let me give you some advice. This was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And if you read the comments today, Lord have mercy. Look, scrambling for new social media and communication strategies is not a replacement for fixing what's actually wrong. Your party has a 21% approval rating right now, congressional Democrats.
Well, let's talk about fixing what's wrong. Donald Trump is doing nothing for the American people.
He has a 50% approval rating.
But he's doing nothing for the American people.
And so
he's not lowering the cost of living. He tells lies.
Fix the policy and leave the gimmicks behind.
Yes, and let's make policy. Okay.
That is a fascinating exchange. That is a microcosm, I believe, for what I have been saying about Democrats for almost a year at this point. This is how it goes, basically, and this is what you saw in this video. Democrats do something completely out of touch, very weird. Americans tell them it's very out of touch and weird. Then Americans say, if you want our support, you need to focus on some policies that actually matter to us. And the Democrat response to that is, let's talk about evil orange man, Donald Trump. And then, of course, they lose elections. That's how it's gone for the last year, and maybe even a little bit longer than that. Because, again, in the past, Democrats actually adjusted. This time, Democrats are not adjusting. Scott Jennings is giving very good advice there. Forget the social media gimmicks. It's not that important. You've relied on the marketing too heavily, and you don't actually have a good product. That's what you need. Like, your marketing could be the best in the world. This is in a business setting. You could have the best marketing in the world, but if you don't have a product, you can't make any money. And the same is true for politics. And again, her response is not to listen or to change. It's to say, well, let's not talk about any of that. Let's talk about evil Donald Trump. And of course, Scott Jennings says, well, he's got like a 52% approval rating. So what are we even talking about here? And she's like, oh, she's got no response for it because she doesn't want to talk about herself. She is a congresswoman, by the way, so she is an elected Democrat politician. And what she does there is what children do. They get in trouble, and instead of owning it, they say, oh, well, look at what my sibling did or what they did. They put the blame onto someone else rather than talking about the thing at hand. And usually the correct parental response to that is, we're talking about you right now. We're not talking about little Jimmy. We're talking about you, little Johnny, little Johnny the Democrat. And again, it's just so fascinating to me. They cannot win elections like this. They know this. I think at least some of their strategists know it. The congresswoman herself probably doesn't understand that. I talked about it a little bit earlier on the show this week, and this might be a bit of an unpopular take, but hear me out on this. I actually want the Democrat Party to do well. That's why I find myself in these videos. If you watch the show a lot, I've been talking a lot about how I'm just fascinated by how Democrats are just so ridiculously bad at adapting after this election. And the reason why I care so much, I had a little bit of a introspective thought about this. Why do I care? I want the Democrat Party to do well. And the reason why is because the Republican Party requires a strong opposition in order to keep them in check. Because if Republicans are just so far ahead of Democrats that they cannot lose elections, then that gives them very little incentive to actually listen to their constituents. And that's my biggest fear, is that they start listening to corruption, interest groups, because they know we can get away with some scandals here or there. Democrats are so far gone, we're going to win the elections anyway. I don't want that. I want Republican leadership to be afraid every election that they're going to lose. Because the more afraid elites are, the more they listen to the people. And again, their motivation to be corrupt is going to go way up if the Democrats are not doing. So with a strong Democrat Party, it forces Republicans to grow up and do well. That's what happened in the last election cycle, by the way. But holy moly, guys, Democrats are so deluded and prideful, they cannot take the very good advice from Scott Jennings in that video. Who really knows, who knows what they're going to do? But Scott Jennings, certainly, if they listen to him, they would improve. I hope they improve a little bit because I want Republicans to stay sharp and win future elections. This tax season, the partner of this show is going to make you actually want to file your taxes because they hate the IRS as much as you do. So they fight to get you every dollar back possible. Quick Tax America. Quick Tax America has already gotten its average tax returner $3,000 back from the IRS, and they do all federal tax returns for only $69. It's one transparent price because it's their only price, no matter how complicated your taxes are. They do all the work for you as well. All you got to do is simply upload your files, answer a few basic questions, and schedule a 15-minute finish your return call with a tax professional. So go check them out right now at Quick Tax America, or you can go to the link in the description below. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was being interviewed this week and accidentally said that Republicans should have a lawfare against them, but not Democrats. And we all know, of course, she believes that, but actually hearing it said out loud is pretty crazy. Here it is.
I think other Democrats are watching their words.
I think it's certainly possible, but I'm not sure. I mean, I cannot think of or point to any individuals who have said that. I do think that there are Democratic members of Congress who are preparing for that possibility.
How do they prepare?
I think they look to the possibility of litigation. I think they're saying, do we have the best teams possible in order to carry out our work? Some
Republican, or many perhaps, will be watching this, listening to this, and thinking, wait a minute, actually, you're the ones who are prosecuting us. You are the guys who are weaponizing the Justice Department. How would you respond to somebody who may be thinking that?
In what way? In what way? Is the very presence
Putting Trump on trial would be their example, I suppose.
Yes. I mean, here's the deal. In the United States, there is a jury where we are judged by our peers, and he was found guilty in court on 34 felony charges. If people want to say it was weaponized, I mean, it is hard-pressed to say that there's a partisan argument for that.
When she says, in what way, even the NPR reporter's like, dude, really? Really? Here's the thing, guys. I think she's actually for real in this video. I don't think she's lying. She actually believes simultaneously that it's okay for prosecutors to go after Trump, but it's not okay for Trump's administration to prosecute people. You can see it in her eyes when she's talking, like she actually doesn't understand, because that NPR reporter, even though I'm sure he's on the left, he's playing devil's advocate in an effective way. He's bringing up what he assumes Republicans will say, and he assumes correctly. And you can see in her eyes, she is not connecting the dots on her hypocrisy there, which is crazy. But I think that this is why elections matter so much, because we, at the end of the day, we cannot convince people like AOC that they're wrong. You cannot. She is bought into the lie. She's not lying. I really don't think she is. She thinks what she's saying is true. For people like AOC, we just have to get them out of politics altogether. Hey guys, I wanted to let you know about a deal I'm running right now. My book, A New Cult, it's up on the bookshelf right there. It's only $9.99 on Amazon, or if you have a Kindle subscription, it's actually free to you. I had a great time writing it. I talk about the cultish behaviors of the Democrat Party, some crazy stories that have been uncovered. I know you'll enjoy reading it, so go check it out right now. The link is in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, go down below, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and watch another video.